Sometimes you have to slow down so that you could pick up speed. And what do you want to slow down for? You want to slow down long enough to at least assess your reality. How do you do less and achieve more? Is it possible to do less and achieve more? What do you think? Possible to do less and achieve more? Is there a difference between activity and productivity? The whole concept of working hard, I think, goes back, into the 40s and 50s, when people were laboring in fields and laboring in factories, and you had to go in and put in a hard day's work or a good day's work. So ask yourself this question: is it possible to work less and achieve more? Is it possible to work less and achieve more? Yes or no? Let me give you a very, very quick example of what I mean. How many of you, and you've seen me do this in the past, how many of you have ever tried to solve the Rubik's Cube? Anybody try to solve the Rubik's Cube ever? Now, why is it that you can work really hard trying to solve the Rubik's Cube and never solve it? There's over 1 million different moves that you can make with this 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube. Over 1 million possible moves, this way, that way, 2 up, 2 down, 2 around. So why is it that you can work hard and do more and achieve less? Anybody ever solve the Rubik's Cube, right? You tried, you were bored, right? You were bored because there's so many possible options. Is it possible that you have some disempowering or bad habits around working hard, but maybe you're not being efficient and maybe you're not being smart? Maybe. Is that possible? So I want to give you a few things that you can do to work less and achieve more. So is the algorithm to solve the Rubik's Cube readily available? If you are committed to solving the Rubik's Cube, is it readily available? If, for example, you go to YouTube and you have somebody walk you through the exact steps you need to take. That's one way to go from trying a lot of different possibilities, right, to finding out a path to achieving the goal faster. Do you think if somebody showed you the algorithm or the steps, it would be faster and easier? So there is one example, right, of how can you work less to achieve more. And that's called what? Does anybody tell me what that's called? Well, other than being smart. What's it called other than being smart? Isn't that called modeling? Isn't that called modeling? We model the behavior that's already been proven to work. That's called modeling. So what most people do is they'll take something like the Rubik's Cube and they'll just keep trying something, and it won't work. So they put it down and they get bored or they get tired or they get frustrated. But that's also called, yes, many of you are saying, I'm on Instagram here and Facebook here, right? Many of you are calling that efficient. So here's my question for you. Are you being efficient in every one of your roles? For example, are you being efficient at earning money? Do we know how to earn more money? If you are committed to earning more money, do you know how to earn money? Do you know the exact steps to earn more money today, this week, and this month? Do you know how? If you want to release weight and keep it off, do you know the exact formula for the food you should eat, how many calories, how much sleep you need, and how much of a caloric burn you need per day to be in a deficit to release weight and keep it off? Is the answer readily available if you are committed? Like, think about this, right? How do you work less and achieve more, right? The answer is, first, you see yourself achieving the result that you want, right? Let's go internally first. Would you agree with that? Let's go internally first. And Dino, why don't you mix money with weight? It's about achieving a goal, right? It's for achieving a goal, right? And so when we are looking to achieve any goal, would you agree that there's a way of thinking that when you think that way, okay, it is the right way of thinking? Would you also agree that there's an emotional state that you need to be in? And even though you may be frustrated at first, frustration actually leads to the release of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And would you agree that when we're frustrated, we have a little bit of adrenaline or cortisol in our system, that's actually a good way to achieve a goal because we have the extra energy of the stress hormone? A lot of people try to stay away from being stressed, but a little bit of stress is actually good. So here's what I like to do. Number one, if you want to stop trying so hard and you want to achieve more by doing less, stop just trying to do. Here's what you need to do first. You start off, number one, with getting a vision in your mind of the end state that you want. This is what you might have, but this is what you want. This is what the end state is. So the first thing we always want to do is we want to give our brain a visual representation of whatever it is that we want to achieve completed. We may not know how to achieve it yet, but that doesn't belong in that step. So step number one is look at the visual that you want, whether it's for your health, for money, or business, your relationship. See it in its end state, part one. Part two, how important do you think self-talk is? How you talk to yourself, right? So, oh my God, this is so hard. I can't figure it out. Should I do this left? Should I do this right? Should I go two at a time? Should I go left first and then to the right? Maybe I should do it in my left. No, that is disempowering self-talk, trying to figure it out on the fly. When we're dealing with self-talk, questions are the key to the biocomputer's genius. Let me repeat, questions are the key to your biocomputer's genius. So let me ask you all a question. It's not positive self-talk necessarily, Joy, but self-talk is the key to opening up your brain software. So what is one empowering question that you could ask yourself to make the behavior that you take a smart behavior? So Joy says, how can I succeed, right? Where can I find the algorithm to solve this? Who has the algorithm? Is it on Google? Is it in a book? Is it through a coach, a consultant? Who has already solved what I want to solve that can make my work faster and easier? How can I? Who can help me? What needs to happen in order for me to solve this faster? Do you see how when we ask ourselves better questions, our brain will say, well, you could do this and this and this. So and so and so and so can help you. So this is part of the modeling. But first, before we do, we want to ask better questions. When we ask better questions, we lead ourselves. The behavior is, in many cases, a better behavior than the behavior that we would normally take on our own, right? So let me ask you a question. If you said to yourself, I wonder, all right, what could I do to, let's say, earn twice as much money in the next 12 months as I did in the last 12 months? I wonder what I could do. I wonder who I could ask.